Okay, today I'm back down at the what I call the big lake. The wind's pushing into this corner. I have seen a lot of fish a lot further up the lake, but they all seem to be quite small. There don't seem to be as many down here, but I have seen some rolling, some cruising the margins, and the stamp fish seems to be a lot bigger. With the wind hacking down into this corner, I was thinking when I got here that I knew where I wanted to fish. Just around the corner from where I had the 37. But I've got down here today. Apparently we've had a month's worth of rain in a week. And that's the state of the swim I wanted to fish. It's underwater. So I'm back round in the other corner. With this one, with it being more open, you've got a lot more opportunities. I could actually still fish it, but there's just no casting room, unless you can go out to the water's edge. So yeah, same as I say, I've seen a few fish rolling and cruising the margins, and there don't seem to be a lot of better stamp fish than what I've seen at the other end. So I'm going to get set up down here and we'll give it a go.
While I was walking around looking for fish, I found a huge slab of a bream dead on the bank, and little did I know that this would be the biggest fish I'd see on the bank the whole session.
Now last time I was here, I put a lot of particle in the margin here, and I doubt it'll pick it up on the camera, but there's a right clear spot down there now, just over the reeds down there. So I'm going to fish one there, and the other one I'm going to be fishing up that margin towards those bushes. Well, I've been here 4 hours now, and the fish, guy's just come round and he says the fish that are at the top end have definitely moved out, and I'm starting to see a lot more fish roll down here, and I've just started getting liners as well on the margin rod. So fingers crossed, we'll be in for a fish. Okay, bait wise, I'm back on the good old pigeon conditioner particle mix. I'm putting insectomorph boilers in with that. When I put it in, I put the particle in first, and I put a limited amount of insectomorph boilers over the top. The upbait, yeah, again it's the Frankfurter Spice boosted cocoons, again from Vortex Baits, and I'm tipping them off with a tiny little 10mm yellow pop-up. Or whatever it is, it's not very big. It's fighting well. Really going for it. And there we go. In the net. Right, so let's get him up for the camera. It's a tiny little fish, but it fought really, really well. Probably only about £6 by the look of it. But it is my birthday, so that's a birthday fish. And it'll do for me for a start. I'd started getting liners on the margin rod, and he's just ripped off. Well, that is my second ever fish from this lake, and although it was a tiny one, I'm not really bothered. It's just good to catch something. Yeah, third trip here, second fish. Say, tiny little fish. Let's hope he sends his bigger brothers across to pay us a visit.
When I put the fish back, he just sat here with his face in the blanket weed in the margin, sulking.
Okay, so here's the fish. I had in the night, got a screaming run. We had the small one yesterday. This one's very lively. It's been in the retainer for a few hours. I'm gonna let it pick him up. And it's one that's even smaller, probably about £4, this one. Thought it was a tench when I hooked it. This one's a mirror. There we go. Tiny little thing. Oh, I'm in for another one. This feels a lot better fish. Well, that one's a little bit bigger, not by much. I'll wait for the sun to get up, we'll get him out, get him hooked, and then when the sun's out, when we've got a bit better light, we'll have a look at him. It's probably a double. So yeah, better than the last two. Right, so now I just put that rod back out. We'll have this one. who's going to let me pick him up. This one's only just made double figures, £10 too. So again a little bit bigger. So I'd only just put that rod back out this morning and it's ripped off with this one. But I am catching, so it looks like it's going to be a numbers game. Wade through the small ones, try and get a decent one. So I'll give you a little bit of a history of the lake. In the early 80s there are a lot of mines around here and the fields suffered from subsidence, and it was that bad that the NCB, any subsidence, the NCB had to put it right, National Coal Board. They came down and had a look and just said, we can't fill that in, it's too big. They offered to create a lake for the estate, which they did. It's fed by a local river and it averages about 10 foot deep. Now when it was originally created, it was set up as a trout fishery, but there are already coarse fish gone in here. So because it was a fly fishery, the coarse fish in here have all grown on natural food. So it's got to be a pretty rich lake. There's carp up to just over 40 so far that's been caught. Bream have been netted up to £18, and I do believe there's double figure tension here as well, some really good rudd and roach. So everything's still a bit of an unknown quantity, which in this day and age is a very rare thing. Nobody knows exactly what's in here. Same as say there's been carp out to just over 40 so far. I had the 37 on the last trip, but today I'm going hammered by small ones. So these small ones that are in here, they've got to have been bred in here. But yeah, it's in a gravel area. It's not actually a gravel pit. There were never gravel extracted from it, but the bottom is gravel. It does suffer from a lot of algae, blue-green algae, but yeah, it's just good to be on somewhere where you don't know the name of every fish, you don't know exactly what's in here. So I'm just watching the fish just topped off that little peninsula. So yeah, that's the history of the lake and how we stand with it so far. So we'll see where we go, see what it can produce. I'm just going to go and get rid of these bloody tufties.
I've since found out that there's a commercial fishery about a mile upstream, and in the winter it reached record levels. The entire valley flooded and the commercial fishery lost a lot of fish, which it turns out they've ended up in this lake.
Well, there's a lot of fish moved into the area and I've seen quite a few decent ones. The problem is they're all just cruising about on the top. They don't look interested in feeding whatsoever. I put some floaters out and not even had a look at them, not even shown them any interest whatsoever. So we've got a couple of hours left. I've still got 2 rods in the margins, and we'll see if we can pick anything up. If we don't, then that's the end of the session. So yeah, I'm going to get packed up now. I've had 3 sessions on here now so far. First one was a blank. Second one I had that 37 for common, and then this trip I've had a 4-pounder, 6-pounder and one just over 10. So yeah, it looks like there's a lot of small fish to wade through before we can get anything decent. I must have felt lucky with that 37. Well yeah, as I thought, when I'd had a walk around it a few times before I fished it, and I was seeing a lot of small fish. I didn't really see anything bigger than probably upper double, but a lot of small ones. So they are in here. They're all cruising about on the top now. They're not interested in any bait, so I'm going to call it a day, get wrapped up and get off home. So thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers. See you later.